minimum wage. We all have experience with minimum wage when you start a job, about $7.25 nowadays. But lately there's been an increasing movement for an increase in minimum wage. Speaking from my own experience, when I started working at United about 3 years ago, $7.25, when I got my first check, I was super excited, but I would learn soon after that it wasn't as great as I thought. My main point to do this is to change minimum wage from $7.25 to $10. Because the production of today is almost twice as much as 1968, which was the first major minimum wage act, which also was $4 an hour, and in today's currency that would be $10 an hour. Also, the minimum wage hasn't changed in a while, and it would help the struggling families who are on welfare and all those other things. That's basically what I need. It's basically what everybody thinks. There's a misconception about how technology has changed us. They think that we don't work as hard as we used to, and that we don't work as long as we used to. But on the contrary, according to Huffington Post, we work twice as much as they did in 1968, because with all the technology, now we work around the clock. We can get called in at any time, and not like the typical 9 to 5 that they used to have. Also in 1968 they got $4, which is transfers into $10 nowadays, which was the highest minimum wage in history. This is what people think we do. We just sleep on the job, but that's not true. So now it's time to raise the minimum wage. It's also time for a change. Minimum wage hasn't changed in 5 years, but before 2009 there was only 2 occurrences that lasted longer than 6 years without a change. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, those 2 times were 1981 to 1990 and 1997 to 2007. So it's about time for such a change. Also, the poorer folks need some help. If they changed it to $10, it would require the government to keep the prices where they're at now, so we could see a growth in the economy, which would make everybody happy. Then more would want jobs, and that would help the employers who are looking at prospects and employees, because there would be more people clamoring for those jobs, and they could take more in-depth looks at their employees before hiring them. In conclusion, raising the minimum wage to $10 an hour would be seen as a great idea and a great thing to all the U.S. Government wouldn't lose much, and it would conclude with everybody being happy, as long as the food and gas and all the other requirements that we have in our lives stay at the same price as they are now. $10 wouldn't be such a bad thing. So, with the technological advances making people work twice as hard, and the timetable for a new wage to happen, and giving more people more opportunities, I see no reason for the wage raise to not be a success.